All right, so picture this, right? You're sipping your morning coffee, maybe you drink tea. The salty breeze is brushing against your face. You're looking at this beautiful horizon where the sun is just kissing the ocean. I mean, it's just an amazing setting, and it's just the American dream, right? Living beachside in sunny Florida, known for its warm weather, and once, believe it or not, affordable housing. But times are changing. Ever since the pandemic hit, folks have been flocking to Florida like seagulls to a boardwalk. But the Sunshine State has become a beacon of hope for many people, sparking this massive surge in migration and housing demand like never before. Now, of course, the pandemic turned the world upside down and suddenly everybody wanted a piece of the Sunshine State. Everyone and their mom is talking about moving to Florida, driving up demand, and prices go along with it, right? Everything, all the prices are going to the moon. What used to be an affordable paradise is like one of the most expensive things. And it's now like a luxury that only a few can afford living in Florida. And with all of this demand came skyrocketing housing prices, right? Suddenly, this at one point achievable dream of owning a piece of this paradise ultimately just kind of slipped away, making affordable living just seem like a thing in the past, right? Now, let me take you back just a little bit to a dream that I once had. Me and my wife were talking about buying a condo in Florida, living beachside part of the year. And, it was amazing. We checked out this amazing condo. And, but as it got closer, the dream got a little bit cloudy. In fact, it got cloudier and cloudier. Condo fees started doubling and even tripling. And don't even get me started on the, I think it was an assessment of like $25,000 that was going to be added to basically we would be footing the bill because the seller didn't want to have to cover it. Anyway, that was a long story, but I'm not going to go there. Condo fees started doubling, even tripling.
A shocking assessment for one condominium in Miami this week. They're being asked to pay $175,000 each towards their 40-year recertification.
And this is a story we've been hearing more and more in South Florida. Residents tell us something isn't adding up, and tonight they're putting the blame on their HOA.
Insurance. Insurance used to be not that big of a deal. It used to be a minor detail, but now it's a nightmare. Stories of insurance fraud, escalating costs due to hurricanes. You got sea level rising, the sea levels rising due to the cost of hurricanes. It's just a mess. Now, let's just talk about the discussion of the dream of owning the beachside condo, right? Like this was our dream. And it sounds amazing, doesn't it? Like we were literally thinking about having like all of our clothes, stuffed in a closet that we would lock, and we would like Airbnb the condo whenever we're not there. That way, if we ever wanted to go to Florida, hey, we would just block out a week or however many days we want to stay in our own condo. And that way, when we're not there, we would Airbnb it. But when we are there, we would just kind of block it and pretty much stay in our own condo for free, right? Sounding pretty cool. But the insurance crisis is no joke. Fraud, hurricanes, you name it. I mean, they've literally sent costs soaring sky high. And let me tell you guys, the increase isn't just a pinch. It's more like a punch, honestly. Condo fees are doubling, tripling, making the dream condo less and less of a haven and more like a financial burden. And after chatting with some local people, I found that I wasn't alone. Tales of people, especially retirees who sought to live off of their 401ks, their investments, some of them living off of Social Security. They picture this peaceful sunset to their lives, but they're now facing a storm that they've never, ever anticipated. Condo fees. Once a mere afterthought, they're now threatening to wash away people's savings. And of course, now I've gotten on this, mentioned the condo fees. I mean, let's just dive a little bit into the world of condo HOA fees, homeowners associations, shall we? Now, for many people, just hearing the term HOA is enough to kind of get the eyes rolling, right? And it's like that one neighbor who's always peeking through the blinds, except it's a whole organization doing the peeking. And let me tell you guys, folks have their reasons for their distaste, and I'm one of them. I'm not a big fan of most HOAs. Now, first off, of course, the rules can be a little overbearing at times. I mean, sure, nobody wants a hot pink condo in a sea of beige condos. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why some of these condos exist, but sometimes there's a reason why these HOAs exist, but some of these HOAs, they just take it to the next level, right? Like, you might want to plant some flowers, and next thing you know, there's like a 20-page guideline on acceptable petunia colors that you need to look through, right? And it's like living in a coloring book, except you don't get to pick the colors. And then, of course, there's the fees, right? Oh, the fees. They start off with this general, stream of just a little bit of fee here, a little bit of fee there, and until all of a sudden you got this raging river before you know it. And the condo that we were looking at buying was a perfect example of that. Can you imagine getting hit with a very unexpected $25,000 special assessment? Yeah, I'm not making this up. Maintenance hikes, you name it. And your budget's more stretched than a pair of yoga pants at the end of the day, right? But let's get real. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of horror stories, from the past year, right? The stuff that really gives condo owners nightmares and almost gave me nightmares. I'm glad we delayed our purchase, and we may never purchase a condo now. And you might not want to purchase a condo after I tell you what I'm about to tell you. But imagine, you're all cozy in your condo, and then all of a sudden, bam, right? You're hit with a sudden special assessment because the building all of a sudden needs a new roof. And it turns out that the reserve funds are about as dry as a desert. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars out the blue. I mean, who's got an extra $15,000 just sitting around that you need to cough up unexpectedly in the next 30 days, maybe 90 days, right? Or how about the tale of power-hungry boards, right? So picture this. A little disagreement turns into a full-blown war. Next thing you know, you're getting fined for every little thing, right? Your doormat's the wrong shade, your car's parked a smidge too far to the left, or heaven forbid your holiday decorations are still up on January 2nd. But wait, there's more. It's like one of those infomercial commercials, right? So what if your HOA is mismanaged? Funds get misused, or maybe there's just no transparency at all. Now, you're pouring money into a black hole. You're hoping that it's for the best, but deep down, you know it's a mess. And what about when the building needs urgent repairs, or insurance skyrockets? Guess who's foot the bill? Spoiler alert, it's you and all your neighbors. But wait, gets a little bit juicier. Some HOAs, they have the power to fine you for things like leaving your garbage bin out for too long, or if your guests park in the wrong spot. And these fines, they can stack up faster than a deck of cards in a hurricane. Now, before you know it, you're like digging into the emergency fund just to keep peace. And it's not fair. Now, you might be wondering, well, Ron, these are probably worst case scenarios. This will never happen, right? But I would ask, how could things get worse? Well, picture this, right? You're already grappling with the rising maintenance costs. And then, of course, the insurance premiums go through the roof because the area is now considered high risk for hurricanes, flooding. We just had this earthquake recently hit Japan and California, but that's another situation there. Or worse, the building's getting old and the HOA decides it's time for some major expensive upgrades. Suddenly your affordable beachside living feels a little bit more like trying to keep afloat in a financial tsunami. Now, the real kicker, if you could cough up the cash for these assessments, the HOA can slap a lien on your property if you can't afford to pay for these things. Yep, that's right, guys. In some cases, they can even foreclose on your home, even if your home or condo is paid off. Oh yeah, HOAs have almost godlike power. And this is one of the major reasons why people just absolutely loathe HOAs. In fact, the unthinkable happened actually, unfortunately, not too long ago. The collapse of the Champlain Towers in Surfside. It's a tragedy that shook pretty much all of us, and it was a wake-up call that things need to change. New laws rolled out, demanding more frequent and rigorous inspections, and with those hefty bills for repairs that can no longer be ignored or postponed. And, these aren't just any old repairs. We're talking major structural overhauls, electrical upgrades, all that safety jazz, right? You talk safety, you talk government and county regulations and inspectors coming out, permits required. It gets expensive. And guess what, guys? It's the condo owners, people like me and you, who end up bearing the brunt. And some are scraping every dime. Others are selling their dreams piece by piece. And this is why we're seeing more and more of these condos hit the market, and why we're seeing more and more of these condo prices become more and more competitive, because there's so many people who are now either forced to list their condos on Airbnb. And of course, that's driving down the monthly rate and people are losing their shirts, or they're putting their condos unexpectedly on the market to just try to sell out of this ticking time bomb. Now, if we fast forward to 2025, laws will fully kick in, and the real question is, what happens then? Will the market flood with condos as owners scramble to offload them? Will prices plummet, making it a buyer's frenzy at the cost of those who held on? Now, for me, the decision's been made. As much as the beach calls, I've hung up the dream of condo living for now. It's not just about the sunsets and the sand anymore. It's about peace of mind. It's about financial stability and facing the tides as they come. Now, this isn't just me though. It's about all of us who shared this dream. I know I'm not the only one who thought about living in Florida, or living along the beach, living on the coast, living in the Sunshine State. But let's talk. Let's plan. Let's navigate these challenging tides together. Whether it's adapting to new living styles or finding alternative paradises, our community's resilience shines the brightest. So, as we say goodbye to the old dream, let's welcome the dawn of a new era, an era of informed decisions, community support, and maybe even a different kind of Florida living, for all I know. I implore you, in fact, I invite you guys to join the conversation down below. Share your stories, share your concerns, and let's find the path together. Maybe Florida is no longer the place to be. Is it Myrtle Beach? Should we be looking at Myrtle Beach? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.